Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to publish your work on the Power BI service after building your report on the Power BI desktop. So you're going to be learning how to publish your work on the Power BI service, which is the Power BI online, and then be able to work on a project together with your teammates in your company, in your organizations. You'll be able to, share your work with them, with your colleagues, and also gain access to what they are doing in case you're working on the same project. After creating your report, the first thing you need to do is to save your work. All right. So to save this work, simply come here just above the file. You'll see a save icon here. Just click on that save icon. It's going to prompt you to put the name of the work. I'm going to put the title of the work, the project, as the name of the file. You can notice here that it is going to save it as PBIX, which is a Power BI file. And then this is the path. This is the directory is going to save the work under my C drive, Dell, and then the document folder. All right. So I cannot change that. That's the default path is going to save this work. So I'm just going to click on save, and that work has been saved. So if I go to my system and check it out, let me see. I go to my C drive here. Then I'm going to go to my users. I'm going to go to Dell. Then here you can see that document. Look at the file here. It's a Power BI file and it is saved in our C drive. Then we have successfully saved this work to our local computer here, but it is not published yet to the service, to the Power BI service. All right. Other persons cannot interact with this project yet because it's still saved in my local computer. So to be able to share this work, I just simply need to publish it. So this report has 3 pages. I just made 3 pages here. The first page is the report itself. You can see is the analysis we did. Then the second one is the insights. This is the insight we have drawn from that analysis. And then the third one is just a random. I just put this random the income by month. This is the income by month. This is not really necessary. I just wanted to use it. I just added it so that we have 3 different pages, so that when we get to Power BI service, we'll now see if it's going to bring up these 3 pages alongside. All right. So if you look here, you can see publish. And if you also go to file, click on file, you're going to see publish. So click on publish. It is going to prompt you to publish it to the Power BI. So this is the Power BI service, which is the online version of Power BI. So I'm just going to click on publish to Power BI. So you need to select the destination you want to publish it. So here I am publishing the work for the very first time to my Power BI. So by default, you have this folder called my workspace. Is like a folder that is going to hold your file in the online service, right? So by default, you have my workspace already. So you can create more workspaces when you get into your Power BI service. But for now, you have only my workspace. By default, your work is going to be saved there. So I'm just going to select it, then click on select. Then it's going to start publishing my work. It's going to take quite a while depending on the file size you're uploading. Great. So it has successfully, you can see it says successfully uploaded. And this is the link of that project on the Power BI service. So you can just click on it to access this report on the online service. So I'm going to click on it. Then it's going to take us to the Power BI online service. As you can see, it's launching, and you just wait for it to load. So here is going to prompt you to sign in into, because remember we signed in, we created an account with our work email. So it's just going to prompt you to sign in, and then you just click on next. And of course, it's going to require a password. So put the same password, then click on sign in. So it's going to ask you if you want to save your password. So it is going to this is going to launch it is going to launch with your default browser, obviously. Then just click on next. uh, so it is prompting me to set up an authenticator for my Power BI. So I will turn on my authenticator app on my phone. Yeah, so this is the Google Authenticator. You can just download it if you don't have it. So you click on the plus button to add a new uh, one. Then I'm going to use the QR code scanner. That's the method that is giving us. Allow. Then I'm just going to scan this code. So it has worked. It has logged in the Microsoft here. So I'm just going to click on next. Now I'm going to put in the code, the 6-digit code. Aha. So and then I'm going to click on next. Good. Authenticator app was successfully registered. Click on done and we are done. So it is going to log us into the Power BI service. Now it is selected my default browser. Okay, so you want to choose your favorite browser as your default browser because it's going to pick up the default browser and open it with. All right, so guys, here we are launched into the Power BI service, and you can see that our project here. Remove this. You can see the project. The project, let me show you again. In the Power BI desktop, so let's just remove this. I have three I'll remove this. So I have three folders here, or files. This is one of the file. The first one, you call it pages anyway, 3 pages. The first pages has the reports. The second pages has my insights. All right. Then the third pages is just this thing that I just put here, this visualization that I just put here. So when it comes to the Power BI service, it also has those 3 pages like that. This is the insight that I just put here. This is my insights. I haven't put any information there. I'm still working on it. Then this is the report. All right, so you can now share this with your friend, your colleagues. You can share it with your colleagues. You can see here you can create you can see, you can even do your visualization here as well. If you don't want to do it in the Power BI app in the desktop, you can create your new reports here. Like you can just click on this Excel to import Excel file and start doing your visualization just exactly the way it is in the desktop. If you don't want to use the desktop, you want to use the online version. And you can also browse your projects here. You can see the recent projects were uploaded. So all the work you're going to be uploading here, they are going to be here on the browse. So I can just take a look and see this project was uploaded 2 minutes ago. It's a report, all right, Power BI report. You can see the location and all of that. Then One Lake Data Hub. So this is another way you can also import data. Then there are so many apps here. Then this is workspaces. So if you have different workspaces, this is my workspace, the one we have by default. So got it. So as you can see, got it. So as you can see, this in my workspace is the one you have by default. All right. So this is when you upload a file, it's going to upload both the file, the reports, and also the data set. You can see it is semantic. This semantic model, that is the data set of that report. All right. So that when you send it to somebody to view, you know, when you have it in your power, this is the Power BI desktop. On the Power BI desktop, this thing is stored, it is saved in your local device, remember? So it is saved in your local device, like like I just showed you a moment ago. So if you send it to somebody from that your desktop, The person doesn't have access to your local device, your computer, so they may not be able to interact with the project. They won't be able to interact with they may see the of course they will just see the report, but they won't be able to interact with it because it is saved in your local device. But when you upload it to the online space and send it to someone, they have access to both the reports and the data sets, and they can react to it. Yeah, they can interact. They can actually interact with the project. So that is why it is here on my report. So here on workspaces, you can see that this is that default workspace that you had, a default workspace that's created for you. So you can add as many more workspaces as possible. So the workspace here is just the same thing as folder. It's the same thing as the folder in your system. It's just a file, it's just a space where you save your work. So let's say you have different files on your system. The way, let me take you to my system. You see, I have different files. Let me go to my desktop. You see the way I have different files. These are different folders. So I name them according to the content of the folder, right? So it is the same thing here. If you are creating a workspace, you can name them. Maybe you're working on a HR project. Maybe you're working for A and B hospital. Then you have to name that folder as their own so that everything that relates to that project will be in that folder. Then when you begin to work for ABC Limited Company, then you put it in a different folder for that company's folder. If you want to work for Amazon, then you put that work into Amazon's folder. So it is here, it is called workspace. You create different workspaces for different projects, right? But however, even if you don't want to create different workspaces, you can, this is a default workspace for you. You can always put it here. Then when you come down to your workspace, you can see the different works by their name here. All right, but the best practice is that you create different workspaces for different projects. All right, so that when you want to upload it, you just choose that particular folder or workspace that you want it to save it in. So good, I hope you understand. Then let's go to browse and then see the reports. All right, so let me open the reports. Just click on it so you can see the reports. By default it opens the last page. So let me, this is the page, the report itself. So I want to share this file. You can see share. So it's going to request you to upgrade to the Power BI license. Now there are different licenses in the Power BI. This is the free license. This particular one is the free version. All right, there are, I think they have the Power BI Premium, they have the Power BI Pro, something something, but those are for big enterprise. So if your organization that you're working in have, if the organization you're working in have Power BI, definitely they are not using this free version that you're using. So they are using a higher licensed Power BI. Of course, they're going to sign you into their workspace, and of course, you can access the licensed one. I think it's the premium or something. So you don't, we don't have access. So to share, so you can't share, because when you have the licensed one, you can now share with your colleagues that you're working with. Now we don't have that. So to share this work, what you need to do is to click on file, and you can download the file, you can save a copy, then you can also embed reports. See these embed reports, click on publish to web, click on share. But then Power BI has different licenses. This particular one is a free version. All right, Power BI is not even supposed to be free. It's an enterprise, is it for big organizations? All right, so but this free version has no so to use those premium version, you need to have a license, you need to upgrade. If you work in a big company, they definitely have a Power BI, the licensed one, the premium. So they will just sign you in, and you can have all, you can have access to all the features of Power BI. Um, so that is when you can be able to share your file with your colleague. If you're working on the same project, you can be able to share file and they can access it. All right. But for individual, for this particular free version, we can't really do much. So we come to file, you can see export. You can also publish to Power BI public, publish to web public. So you can also publish to Power BI public. If you click on that, I doubt if it's going to allow me in. So this Power BI public is, when you click on it, it's going to give you a link. There's going to be a link where you can copy and just send to someone to view your work. Okay. Then you can you see export. If you click on export, you can analyze in Excel. So you can move this to Excel. You can also analyze, view it as a PowerPoint, and you can also save it as a PDF. All right. So I like to save mine as a PDF and then probably have it as a file, a PDF file.